Welcome to new secondary mathematics, a course book for 21st century learners, book 2. This material is useful for studying general mathematics for all secondary courses, all secondary school courses. The topic we are going to deal with is cubes and cube roots, which is topic number 1 in this course. And in lesson 1, we are going to specifically focus on enabling the learner to be able to use factors to solve multiplication and division of composite numbers. Activity: solving multiplication and division problems using prime factors. First and foremost, we need to understand cubes and the concept of cubes, and also learn to find cubes of numbers. Now, we go back to our previous studies in book 1, where we came across the word cube, and even earlier the word cube or the term cube had been used to refer to a regular shape with all sides equal. Here we are, this shape with sides equal was being referred and is known as a cube. Now, the shape herein is a cube of side y centimeters long. This side from this corner to this corner is y centimeters. From this to that is another y. Height is also y. That is, length is y, width is y, and height is y. A cube in this topic is not referring to this shape. However, we are looking at numbers which are characteristic in nature, in the sense that they have one of their factors multiplying 3 times to get the number. In this, if we use this shape as an illustration, and we said that this shape represents a number called a cube, and the side of this shape represent one of its factors, and then this factor y is multiplied by y and y and y, that is 3 times, to give us the number called the cube. Then we say that the y is this y, which is a factor of this number called the cube, has been multiplied 3 times by itself to give us y cubed. Y cubed, y times y times y cubed, which is indeed, therefore, the cube. And from our understanding of shapes, and in particular solids or 3-dimensional shapes, we know that for this cube, that value of y times y is its volume. And it has been found by multiplying the side by itself 3 times. The y cubed represents the number called cube of y. Cube of y. Y cubed is a number which is the cube of y. A cube of y. A cube, therefore, is referring to a number which one of its factors would be multiplied 3 times to get the number. That number becomes a cube. Very well. We need to move forward and look at some other examples in particular. Before we look at examples, we need to understand that we are focused at looking at finding cubes from calculators and tables, but we shall see that. Now, examples of cubes using a long method. Now, long method, as we determined there, y cubed, we multiplied y by y by y to get to the cube of y. That is a long method. For example, we have a number called 2. Now, if we multiply 2 is of course a factor of some numbers, but 2 multiplied by itself 3 times, that is 2 times 2 times 2, gives us a number. The number is 8. Now, this 8 is therefore, from the definition of cube, is a cube of 2. It's a cube of 2. When you multiply 2 3 times, 2 by 2 by 2, you get 8. Therefore, 8 is a cube of 2. It can clearly be seen that 2 is multiplied by itself 3 times to give us 8. 8 is therefore the cube of 2. Also, 5 times 5 times 5 gives us 525 times 5 is 125. That's a long method of getting to 125. 125, because 5 is multiplied by itself 3 times to give us 125. 125 is therefore a cube of 5. In some cases, especially when dealing with large or composite or complicated numbers, a long method may be very cumbersome and indeed very tedious, takes a lot of time. So the use of calculators or mathematical tables would be encouraged, and indeed that is why in mathematics there is the need of learning or developing the skills of using calculators and mathematical tables. So we move on to look at what it is that we must know and to use calculators. And there are two different types of calculators. We are talking about ordinary calculator, as the one which is used in shops or shopkeepers and so on, and the one which is used by scientists or mathematicians called scientific calculator. It has, the difference is that scientific calculator has got very many other features which are mostly in relation to mathematics, which are not available in ordinary mathematics, or calculator. Now, to work with a scientific calculator is very easy, and you use the x to power y function key, in which x represents the number and y is the power. We need to know that when we talk about cube, a number being cubed or multiplied by itself 3 times, it means that it is raised to power 3. A cube is therefore the factor raised to power 3. You have a task here to work through to help you develop more of the skills of a long method of getting cubes and really understanding the concept. So in this particular task, you are going to work out using long method cubes of some of these numbers and so on, and then you take a picture of your work area where you've done your work in your book and submit. You make sure you take very clear pictures, large enough but not leaving out any part of your work. Then you submit through WhatsApp, the WhatsApp line which you have. Now work out cubes of the following numbers. What is a cube of 2? B, 5. What is cube of 9? C, 12. T, how about K? Then number 2, find the value of the following. 0.2 cubed, B 2.5 cubed, C 1.2 cubed, D 1.1 cubed. And number 3, find the following. into bracket 3x cubed, b into bracket 2ab cubed, c into bracket x y cubed, and finally d 2.1y into bracket cubed. Yes, work on that, and we meet shortly after you've submitted your work for assessment and it's assessed, and then we continue. Good.